meeting about House Bill 581, the statewide floating homestead exemption. Nancy, you want to take it off?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Seth, did you need to check anything first on?
Yes, I just want Commissioner Smith, he's with us virtually, if you wouldn't mind just speaking, just to make sure that we can have you real quick, if y'all don't mind. Commissioner Smith, are you there?
No, you're not waiting on me, are you?
Perfect. We just wanted to make sure that you could hear. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So I'm Nancy Clark Gonzalez. I'm the Chief Financial Officer, and I just wanted to give a brief overview of the House Bill 581, the statewide floating homestead exemption. So I wanted to start with the exemption that we currently have in place, which it was voted on by the taxpayers in 2006, and it was Senate Bill 496. And this is an exemption that is equal to the difference between the assessor's fair market value and the base year. And that base year means the taxable year immediately preceding the taxable year in which the exemption is first granted. So this exemption, the homestead exemption, it is something you need to apply for through the tax assessor's office, and they value your home at the prior year's value, and it's frozen at that. So as the fair market value increases over the years, you're still taxed at that original base year cost. Now, that is affected by, if you have improvements to your property, that will be added to the base year value as well. And of course, this is a homestead exemption. It's not for commercial property. So this is what we have in place currently. And for that current exemption, this shows what it has saved the taxpayer since it went into effect. So it was voted on in 2006, and it went into effect with the 2007 taxes. And you could see that to your far left. And just as the digest value, which is the home values, home fair market values, have increased, and obviously really did a deep dive in 2015, 2016, and it's really gone up quite a bit since then. You could see the cost savings, especially since the digest has increased over the last 3 years. And I think over the last 3 years, it was almost 13 million in savings. And over the length of that exemption that's been in place, it's been just over 32 million that it has saved the taxpayer. So this current House Bill 581, it came about by legislators who were concerned about the high value and how quickly property values were increasing. So this House Bill 581 was passed in November 2024, and it went into effect January 1st of 25. And it's designed to offset or reduce increases in that taxable value. So the exemption becomes, if your fair market value of your house increases $10,000, but House Bill 581 would tie that increase to the consumer price index. So just say it's 2%. If you had a $100,000 house, your fair market value went up $10,000, this would freeze it so it would only go up $2,000. So this is actually less of an exemption than what we currently have in place. So, and again, homeowners are already granted a homestead will receive this exemption automatically, does not apply to commercial property. And the object of this public hearing is whether or not we opt in, which we've already opted in, or whether or not we want to officially opt out, which we need to do by March 1st. And this just compares our current homestead exemption to House Bill 581. Really, the only differences as you go down there is our homestead is a freeze, so there is no increases, where this floating homestead exemption would increase it by the consumer price index. And what we have in place right now is really the greater benefit to the taxpayers currently due to that frozen value. So the impact of the existing homestead exemptions, the new floating exemption is in addition to, it doesn't really take the place of it, but it's still not as good as what we already have in place. So it's really a moot point or a moot exemption. All the other exemptions stay in place and the local freeze remains in place. So really, the next steps are that the bill went into effect January 1st. We, at a work session, the board had decided that, or notified staff of its intent to opt out of this exemption. We had that work session. We had proper notice in the Tribune-Georgian, and we're holding 3 public hearings. 1 was held last week, and 2 are being held today. And if the decision, I know it's on the agenda tonight, if that decision is made to opt out after the public hearings, we must file a resolution with that option by March 1st. And that's all I have, if you have any questions.
Commissioners, one thing I wanted to just clarify, we had some questions that arose at the last public hearing about if an addition or improvement is made to a property, then basically whatever that improvement value was, if it's 40,000, 100,000, whatever it may be, that value is added to the frozen value that's already in place, and that's it. So there is no reset. It just, whatever that value of that improvement that is made is added to the existing frozen value as it is in place.
Yeah, that's a pretty good benefit to
It
the
is.
taxpayer.
Yes,
there.
sir.
And that's on our homestead exemption now, the
Correct.
one we have.
Yes, sir,
in
that's
place.
correct. That's correct.
Any other board members have any questions? Cody, you got anything?
No, thank you, sir.
All right, this time we'll open it up to the public. Anybody wish to come up, ask a question, or provide a comment? Going once, going twice? I reckon we'll close this meeting. Thank y'all.